Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're looking at 3 Bates family stories that took completely unexpected turns. Travis Clark believed he was sharing the lessons he has learned after the darkest chapter of his life, but instead of encouragement, he was met with intense online criticism. Commenters accused him of playing the victim, questioned whether his reflections were sincere, and even suggested he was quietly rebuilding his public image. At the same time, Kaybree Bates' peaceful devotional post unexpectedly sparked an influencer debate, while Erin Paine's emotional confession about wanting another baby reopened one of the most painful chapters her family has ever experienced. In this video, we're breaking down the posts, the backlash, and the conversations that have everyone talking. Let's get into everything that happened. The strongest reaction this week centered around Travis Clark, although it was not because of a major announcement. Instead, 2 simple Instagram stories documenting his personal healing journey quickly became one of the biggest talking points among Bates family followers. What began as quiet reflections about growth and accountability soon turned into accusations that Travis was trying to reshape his image after months of controversy. Supportive comments were quickly drowned out by criticism, leaving many asking the same question. What exactly did Travis post that triggered such a strong reaction? The first story featured a peaceful sunset overlooking a backyard pool, with a guitar resting near the bottom of the frame. Across the image, Travis shared a list of lessons he says he has learned during one of the hardest years of his life. The first statement read, "Time doesn't heal. Intentional work heals." He followed it with several other reflections, including "Healing begins where excuses end. What you refuse to learn will always repeat. Focus on improving, not proving. Reconciliation is built on evidence, not promises. You can't heal what you're still trying to hide, and transparency isn't punishment. It's how trust is rebuilt." Every statement centered on accountability, honesty, rebuilding trust, and the belief that healing requires deliberate effort rather than simply waiting for time to pass. His second story explained the origin of those reflections. Travis wrote that he had been keeping a private text thread where he recorded lessons he was learning throughout the year. After reading through those notes, he decided to share a few of them with his followers. He admitted he was still learning, acknowledged that some days he lived out those lessons better than others, and thanked everyone who had been praying for his family during such a difficult season. Notably, he did not issue another apology or provide any update about the current state of his marriage. Instead, he focused entirely on describing his personal growth as an ongoing process rather than something already completed. Online, however, the response was anything but supportive. Rather than discussing the meaning behind the quotes, many commenters questioned whether Travis had earned the credibility to offer life advice only months after publicly admitting to his affair. One widely shared comment read, "Travis giving life advice? I think I'll pass." Another user wrote, "Possibly needs to take his own advice," while someone else bluntly added, "Get off social media, dude. You're not our therapist." Another highly liked response simply said, "The unmitigated gall of this guy to hand out life advice." Within hours, the discussion had shifted away from healing itself and toward one central question. Has enough time passed for Travis to be viewed as someone qualified to speak publicly about healing? The criticism quickly expanded beyond his credibility. Several commenters argued that the reflections did not even feel personal. One user claimed the list sounded like something copied from an internet search rather than genuine life experience, describing it as little more than word salad. That comment led another person to joke that the quotes probably came from ChatGPT, while someone else agreed that it was a fair point. Others compared the entire collection of statements to motivational chain emails from decades ago, while a few joked that Travis seemed to be searching for Bible verses to match every quote. Before long, the debate shifted from questioning his timing to questioning whether the words truly reflected his own thoughts at all. The conversation became even more critical when commenters connected every sentence back to Travis's affair confession earlier this year. Some argued that his reflections were less about healing and more about managing public perception. Others focused on specific lines such as "healing moves at the pace of the wounded, not the one who caused the wound," and "transparency isn't punishment." It's how trust is rebuilt. Although Travis never mentioned Katie by name, some readers interpreted those statements as subtle messages directed toward his wife. Others went even further, suggesting that the stories were the first step in carefully rebuilding his public image. Comments such as "feels like he's laying the groundwork" and "should we take bets on when he'll be appearing on stage" reflected the belief among some critics that Travis was preparing to eventually turn his personal scandal into a public testimony. At the same time, a smaller group argued that he would likely be criticized regardless of what he chose to do. If he remained silent, people questioned whether he truly felt remorse. If he spoke openly about what he was learning, he was accused of becoming a motivational speaker. For many observers, the bigger question became whether public opinion had already been permanently decided. While Travis was facing intense scrutiny, Kaybree Bates found herself at the center of a very different controversy. She shared Instagram stories featuring an open Bible, a devotional journal, handwritten notes, and a peaceful nighttime setting illuminated by a candle. One story highlighted personal reflections on faith, while another included the caption, "A quiet moment with God before bed." At first glance, the posts appeared to be simple glimpses into her nightly devotional routine. However, at the bottom of the story, Kaybrie also encouraged followers to visit the Steadfast and Sustained account through her affiliate link and use the discount code Kaybree Bates for 10% off the journal she was using. That small addition completely changed the conversation online. Discussion forums quickly filled with comments suggesting Kaybrie was beginning to follow the same influencer formula that critics often associate with members of the Bates family. One thread was even titled, "And the code sharing begins." Many commenters emphasized that the affiliate partnership itself was not necessarily the problem. Instead, they argued that placing a promotional code directly beneath what had been presented as a deeply personal spiritual moment made the devotional feel less authentic. Others described it as another example of faith-based content blending seamlessly with lifestyle influencing and sponsored promotions. At the same time, some users defended Kaybrie by pointing out that she never attempted to hide the partnership. She openly displayed the journal, clearly included the discount code, and allowed followers to decide for themselves whether they wanted to purchase it. The discussion ultimately evolved into a broader debate. Can someone sincerely share their faith while also recommending a product they genuinely use and believe in? Amid those two controversies, Erin Paine attracted attention for an entirely different reason. During an Instagram question-and-answer session, one follower asked whether she and Chad would want more children if health concerns were no longer an issue. Erin answered immediately, saying without a doubt, yes. She explained that she and Chad love children and believe raising them to know and love Jesus is one of the greatest callings in their lives. Erin also mentioned that adoption could potentially become part of their future, while acknowledging that she does not know what God has planned. It was not a pregnancy announcement, nor did it suggest doctors had cleared her for another pregnancy. Even so, the answer instantly reminded many followers of the serious health crisis she endured only a short time ago. Many immediately recalled everything Erin experienced after giving birth to her seventh child, Henry Blythe. She developed a severe urinary tract and kidney infection that progressed into septic shock, spent time in intensive care, underwent dialysis, and remained hospitalized for nearly 3 weeks. During that frightening period, her 6 older children waited anxiously for their mother to return home, while newborn Henry stayed beside her throughout much of her hospital stay. Erin later faced an exhausting recovery that even included learning to walk again after complications affected her right leg. Because of that history, her simple answer, without a doubt, yes, sparked mixed reactions. Some viewed it as a touching reminder of how deeply she values motherhood and the family she has always dreamed of having. Others worried that the serious medical risks she once faced were simply too significant to overlook. It left many asking whether it is possible to continue holding on to the same dream after surviving such a life-threatening experience. Although these 3 stories began with completely different social media posts, they ultimately raised remarkably similar questions. Travis Clark tried to share the lessons he believes have shaped him during the hardest year of his life, yet much of the public focused on whether he had earned the credibility to share them. Kaybree Bates posted what appeared to be a peaceful devotional moment, only for a simple discount code to trigger debate about authenticity and influencer culture. Erin Paine answered a heartfelt question about wanting another child, unintentionally reminding thousands of followers of the devastating medical battle she fought not long ago. In an era where every social media post is analyzed from every possible angle, these stories highlight just how difficult it has become for public figures to separate personal moments from public discussion. Even a disappearing Instagram story or a brief answer during a question-and-answer session can quickly grow into a much larger conversation than anyone anticipated. And those are three very different stories that somehow ended with the same question. Are people simply reacting to what Travis Clark, Kaybree Bates, and Erin Paine chose to share, or has every Bates family post reached the point where it will be scrutinized no matter what? Let us know what you think in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. If you enjoyed this update, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest Bates family news and updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.